The Pittsburgh Steelers make a sneaky good signing, and this has major implications on the team and for the rest of the season. My name is Tamir Jean-Charles. This is Steelers Digest. Let's hop right into it. If you're not subscribed, please get subscribed. Only 67% of you are subscribed. We've got a good video coming out for you today. How you doing, Steelers fans? If you didn't know, week one against the Jets, our starting strong safety, Deshaun Elliott, went down what looked like to be an apparent knee injury. And it was, you see Jordan Schultz has confirmed it is an MCL sprain. And to be honest, that was actually pretty good news from what happened. He fell backwards on it very, very awkwardly. And even with ACL tears, we've seen people walk off the field under their own power. So, the fact that he didn't take the help from the trainers and the staff, it's always just good to see that from a human being, when they get injured in that type of fashion, those injuries to those lower extremities. But it now confirmed it is not an ACL tear, it's an MCL sprain, so he should only be out for 4 weeks. But as thin as we are on the D line, and as thin as we are in safety, we have signed former first round draft pick. I think it was the 25th pick in the 2017 draft by the Cleveland Browns, Jabril Peppers, out of Michigan. Played DB. He was that versatile guy coming out, in the draft. Everyone loved that he could play corner, could play both of the safety positions. He could play a little bit of linebacker, which always helped with his versatility. And if you didn't know, when Deshaun Elliott went down, we also had Porter go down as well. Jalen Ramsey kind of filled in at outside corner, and then Eccles came in at the nickel, and then we had Chuck Clark, who was elevated from the practice squad. He came in. Juan Thornhill played some full-time free safety and stuff like that. So with the nature of the game and how injuries, how freak injuries just happen, it was good to add this kind of depth to the team. Like I said, Chuck Clark is a practice squad player. He was released from the team. He successfully went through waivers, and now we've placed him on our practice squad. So that just doesn't really leave us with a lot of versatility. You could have Slay and Porter play the corners. Eccles can play in the slot. Then you'd have, Ramsey at free safety with Juan Thornhill backing him up. And then Chuck Clark. You'd probably have to make him full-time. Chuck Clark at strong safety. So we needed some more depth in that position. This is Jabril Peppers on his Twitter, confirming the signing with the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's happy about it because I know he was posting some film on his X account about his versatility and how he's played for so many defensive coordinators under so many different schemes and how he could really play anything. But this is a guy who, in 2024, I think he had some league policy issues. I think he got suspended for 8 games. And then when he came back, he had some hamstring injuries. He had a hamstring injury and he missed 6 games. So didn't really play a lot in 2024. Didn't really play a lot at all. But like I said, Elliott's outcome is much better than we all thought it would be. We all thought, to be fair, I thought it was going to be an ACL injury, but glad it's not. And when you're in a win now mode, like obviously we are right now, you've got to keep the train moving and we've got to keep the ball rolling. So we've got to get guys in that could play the position. And just a bit of backstory about, his type of play style and, who he is as a football player. This is a strong safety. He, like I said, he's at that linebacker mold. Wouldn't say outside corner, but nickel. He's kind of like a great value version of Jalen Ramsey, if I were to give him a comparison to anybody. And Jalen Ramsey just happens to be on our football team. He's got that hit power. He can come into the box and help in the run fit. We can send him on blitzes that we really like to do in the slot that we saw Ramsey doing against the Jets. Just didn't get home as much as we'd want to. I think we only had 1 sack against Justin Fields on Sunday. And it came from an edge rusher and not from any type of blitz. So he's another one of that versatile mode. Just another depth piece, but this sets us up well because this is a position we were already had issues with. So when Elliott comes back, he can take his position at strong safety again. Maybe it's a battle between Chuck Clark and Peppers to see, who could be that secondary guy. Obviously, Ramsey's going to come in the box. Obviously, Ramsey plays free safety. He can play corner. He can play outside. I'm sorry, he can play nickel. He can play outside. Jalen Ramsey can play any position that's not linebacker or edge rusher or D tackle on the defense. So the fact that we have him is really, really good because it gives us so much flexibility everywhere on the field for other guys to play. And and he does multiple jobs. So when you can do multiple jobs as one player, that's very, very good. Like I said, he was drafted by the Browns. Then he went to the Giants. Then he settled in New England, where he was, kind of battling for a spot over there. And then after the changes with Belichick, and then going into Gerard Mayo, and now into Mike Vrabel, he just got released by the Patriots. It was a surprising release, to be fair. He still had $4.3 million on his contract that they still have to pay him. But, new coaches, random changes happen. Apparently Mike Vrabel didn't like what he brought to the team. It is what it is. We'll pick him up. He'll be a good player for us, and which is very, very good. But Steelers fans, I want to know, what do you guys think about this signing? Is it a good signing for us? Do you like the signing? I do want to add that Joey Porter Jr., I think he just had a bit of hamstring tightness, which is fine. Week 1, it was confirmed we just wanted to shut him down. It's funny that, that all these injuries happen, in week 1, just because with these preseason games, football is different from any other sport, to where a lot of guys don't want it's such a physical sport that you don't really want your guys to be playing in preseason, and they shortened the preseason, which didn't really help anybody, especially offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators. So we used to have 4 preseason games. Now there's only 3. And then on top of that, starters don't really play. You're playing guys who are fighting for roster spots. So you want to see who can help you if any, insane injuries happen during the season. So a lot of people don't play. And Joey Porter's injury is a testament to that, because they just say, all right, we're just going to shut him down so we can have him for the whole season. These guys don't really put on pads like that during the offseason, during OTAs, and during required minicamp. It's just a lot of, cone work, stuff like that, 1v1s without pads. I know Pittsburgh is one of the most notorious teams in the league for in-season practicing with pads, but that's in-season. That's not leading up to the season. So I wanted to say that because that's a little bit of what happened on Sunday with giving up 32 points. It's a whole lot of new guys gelling on that defense. We'll be fine. Elliott will be fine. He's just going to miss a little bit of time. Joey Porter will be fine. And now we've got Jabril Peppers on the backside of that defense to help out. And yes, he will be a part of our home opener at Acrisure Stadium against the Seattle Seahawks. We'll see how much play time he gets. We'll see where they put him. We'll see how he fits on the defense. And yeah, I'll talk about it when it's time. All right, Yenzers. See you.